again to Wrestle Logic. It's another week, which means more wrestling to talk about. It's another edition of Pints Up or Down for Raw and Smackdown. Chris, the real deal, Mr. Sex Appeal, here in the house again. I'm Paul, ready to talk some wrestling this week.
Hey, let's do it.
Kicking off Raw was a very, very touching, actually, video montage for the late, great Bruno Sammartino. It was very interesting because with the fact that all the footage was so old and they had a Skillet song in the background. But ironically, though, I found the Skillet song to be very appropriate. You know, it was just the lyrics were really good. I just found it overall very touching. And as much as, you know, these are the kinds of things we don't usually drink to, I'm drinking to this.
Hey, we got to drink to this. I watched the little special they had on the WWE Network, and it was very interesting to see his background, his life, and the history of him, because he was actually a really scrawny guy at first, and then you see who he was when he was wrestling. He's a pretty brawn guy, I would say, too. So, yeah we'll drink to that, absolutely.
To Bruno. All right, up next, Brock comes out, of course, with his advocate Paul Heyman just ripping Roman apart. And the only thing that I really got to me in this whole thing, because I always love Paul Heyman, I always love Brock, they're a perfect team. But what I didn't enjoy was there were some obvious plants in the audience to cheer on Roman. It was so obvious, the cheering was so canned, it was bad. Like, I feel like the WWE is really trying too hard now to make Roman the face in this whole thing.
Right, and I'm not going to drink this either because, and not for what you said, but for the fact that I'm kind of getting bored of this. I want to see something. I want to see some action. Let's get some action. I don't want to see talking. I want some action. I want some ass whooping. Let's do something.
Yeah, and the thing that I would have drunk to this if it had just been left with the Paul and Brock thing, but I'm sorry, Roman coming out and basically saying 4 words like, I'm coming home with that title. Okay, that's more than 4, but you know what I mean. Really?
Everyone says that, Paul.
And then he just dropped the mic and left? No.
Everybody says that. I'm getting, not either.
No. However, the next part, very much drinking to, because it is now the Kevin and Sammy show instead of Miz TV now that Miz is gone. They had quite a big hole to fill, because, I mean, Miz TV was pretty big, and Miz was those are some big shoes to fill on Raw. But I thought Kevin and Sammy did a great job. Their comedy together is very good. They work so well together. And then bringing out Kurt Angle and the whole making fun of the fact that he has 6 kids instead of 5 kids. And they're like, what are you talking about? You forgot about Jason Jordan. And like, the whole shtick was fantastic. And then the fact that Kurt got the last laugh with making it a tag team match of those two against Braun and Bobby Lashley later on.
Yeah, and the other thing that was really funny about that is they were really digging at Kurt Angle, saying how he's a bad dad. And then he's got his illegitimate Jason Jordan, which, where has he been lately? But anyways, it was hilarious. I'll drink to that because it is becoming kind of funny. I think the crowd's actually getting behind it because I hear them laughing in the background, kind of cheering in the background. Even Kurt Angle looked like he was having trouble keeping a straight face in this. So I'll drink to that one, absolutely.
Kevin and Sammy show. All right, up next, Elias. Oh, I love Elias. I love everything they're doing with Elias. The only problem is I don't know what exactly they're doing with Elias. But I like it. It's weird. I completely like it. He was about to do his shtick. Didn't even get to sing, though, because Bobby Roode made his glorious entrance and totally cut him off, which I thought was very well done. It was a good way to give Bobby Roode that exclamation point that I am now on Raw. You know, I thought it was appropriate. It was well done. I thought the match was a little wonky.
Yeah.
The finish was a little wonky, but I'm still going to drink to it because I think this could be, they're both attention hogs. Not that we know any of those around here. But I think it's a good feud because of that. They're going to be butting heads. They both want center stage. Well thought out, I thought.
I'm going to go off of this as a performer standpoint. Like you said, Elias, I'm not really sure what the point of this was, besides maybe to say that Bobby Roode's on Raw now. But it was good to see him wrestle. But I'm not going to drink to this just because I'm not sure where they're going with this at this point. I mean, I'm glad that I didn't get to see Elias sing. I'm fine with that. But I am glad to finally see him wrestle because I didn't know if he could or not. And I can see that he can, but I wasn't sure what the point was. So I'm going to let you drink to this one by yourself, Paul.
To Bobby and Elias. Up next, Matt Hardy and his new tag team partner, Bray Wyatt, which I love this. I know that Some people don't understand it. Some people don't quite get the whole bit behind the broken gimmick. I love it. I think it's fantastic. I think they work really well together. There's a very unusual juxtaposition between the two because you have the lighthearted side of Matt and then you have the very dark Bray. And I think it's almost like it's very much a light and dark side of the broken gimmick. And I think it's going to work really well together. I feel a little bit bad that the Ascension made their debut on Raw by getting kind of jobbed out to them. But the match was good. It's continuing the storyline of the broken gimmick. Ascension, welcome to Raw.
It is about the best you could say. It was essentially a squash match. You knew who was going to go over. I could have predicted this because you got two guys, which would be Bray and Matt, going. You know they're going to go over because they're in this tag team tournament, and they're not going to lose to the Ascension out of nowhere. I'm not going to drink to it just because it was so predictable.
You see, on that note, really quick, I feel that both Raw and SmackDown were very predictable this week, but I feel that they had to be. As being go-home shows, there's not a whole lot you can do to change storylines at the 9th hour, going into a pay-per-view. So I figured they were going to be, but I don't know. I really like the... Actually, I made a note about it here. I really feel that having all these characters in the match, because the Ascension are kind of their own weird kind of characters, right. And then you had Bray and Matt, who are just very unique characters. I felt very 80s WWE nostalgia on this. Because that was the days of the Kamalas and the Undertakers, right. Back when it was really about the gimmicks and not, people didn't have just like their names, granted most of these people did have their name, but you get what I'm saying is I like the character work, and that's why and that's what I said last week about this. This seems a lot more like 80s. Doink the Clown, you have these characters now. I like that. And I was okay with that. I'm an Attitude Era kind of guy, and that was fun for me. So Paul, I don't know what you're doing, but if you're drinking alone. I'm drinking. Alone. So up next we saw The Miz Taraj, obviously kind of lost right now with their leader being gone, so they're trying to kind of suckle on to whoever they can grab. And first person was Seth Rollins. I know, I knew this, I saw this coming. It was cute though. Like they tried to be the Shield, it was kind of cute, It's like they're two middle school kids that are looking for their leader, and they still haven't found him yet. Yeah, and so I can't drink to this per se because this is just something bigger, which we'll get to down the road. And I'm not going to drink to this either because, it is something further down the road. Yep. Up next, though, it's just always going to be that way because of how much I love Dolph Ziggler. Dolph and Drew come out, taking on Titus Worldwide, kind of a squash match again, but I thought that it needed to be one because this was Drew McIntyre's first match back, and if he didn't look powerful, then it was going to be like, well, what's the point? Exactly. And as someone coming off of NXT, to the casual fans, they have no idea who this guy is, so they need to make him look strong right out of the gate, or he's going to have no credibility. Match was great. Well, when you put Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre in a ring together, and Titus Worldwide, they're no slouches when it comes to ring work. Right. So you had four very good workers in the ring. They put on a fantastic match. I still love their finisher, which I'm still going to call it the Zigmore. Because it's a combination of the Claymore from Drew McIntyre and the Zigzag from Dolph. So I'm going to call it the Zigmore. We'll see if they... Dolph and Drew, the Zigmore, that's your finisher. The Zigmore that's what I'm always refer to it as. Looks awesome. And then Drew McIntyre's mic skills blew me out of the water. I did not know that he could do that. It was unexpected. It was. And I'm going to drink to this too because I'm interested in the storyline from a wrestling standpoint to see what's next with these two guys. All of a sudden, Drew McIntyre came back huge. Well, obviously, like Paul said, got to come back and do something. You got to look powerful. He looks powerful physically now. Then you got Dolph with him, and I think I just love Dolph Ziggler. He's the best seller I think that they have. He's got great in-ring performance. He's got a great charisma. Everything about him is awesome. I'm excited to see where this goes. I'm definitely drinking to this because of their performance. It's awesome. Let's drink to Dolph and Drew, to D&D. No, that's a nerdy thing, D&D. Finally, I get to drink and not just make the noise. There you go. All right, Chad Gable now being revealed on Raw, backstage segment with Kurt Angle, and they also touched a lot of touching base on the whole, I can't think, Jason Jordan today. That was another thing on that one that they were like, hey, I didn't bring you back here to team up with my illegitimate son again. You're going to be a singles competitor. Then Jinder Mahal shows up all in a huff because he still wants his U.S. title and blah, 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 blah. But then get mad at each other. So what happens? Well, what's going to happen in wrestling? They're going to have a match.
Obviously.
So they did. Chad Gable came out, and I was very interested in this match because, first off, I love Chad Gable's. He's really good in the ring.
Yep.
He's one of those guys with a really low center of gravity, so he can throw people around. Probably easier than a taller person could, but he just makes it look effortless.
And where's he billed out of?
He's billed out of Minneapolis,
man.
Minnesota.
We'll call him a local.
Yes, our local boy, Chad Gable. But it was interesting because I feel this match really made Jinder look strong and made Chad really look like the underdog. So for him to pull up the W looked that much more impressive.
And I was impressed with the match too. Although I predicted it in my head, I did not say it to anybody. I should have just texted Paul and told him the situation. I knew it was going to happen. I knew he was going to get not a cheap win, but a quick roll-up type win against Jinder because everybody else, it was kind of predictable. This one wasn't, except for I kind of figured where they were going with the storyline throughout the night. I like Jinder. I like his look. I think he's got a great, powerful look. And then Chad kind of stole one from him, which was, I liked it, but not enough. I predicted it was the thing. That's why I'm not going to drink to this.
I'm drinking alone a lot tonight.
Man.
I'm drinking to this.
Hey, at least you know that we don't have this rigged. This is the only honest YouTube channel out there.
All right. But what it comes down, final word on this one, it has me interested to see where it goes.
I would say yes.
So, up next, Riot Squad backstage. I have one word for it. Meh. There just wasn't anything that healthy there to me. I enjoy the Riot Squad, but it didn't do anything.
Move on.
Yep, moving on. Miz Taraj, try number 2. So they try to win over Finn Balor, and they're trying to too sweet with him, and so that's why it was funny when I saw the Miz. Taraj. They were just holding the 2 sweets up, and Finn wouldn't do it to the point where finally Finn comes in and goes, "Put your hands down," and then walks away. I know backstage segments. I'm not really big on drinking on, but I'm drinking on this one because it was and I know it's no, I'm not. It's building to a further story.
It is building to a further story.
So I can't drink to it. That's
they're
right.
They're like the
lost
person
puppies
trying to get a date to the prom. It's just not working right now.
But I don't know. This one to me, and plus I just love Finn. I love Finn.
Yeah.
So good. But great backstage stuff. So up next was the match between Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn against Braun and Bobby Lashley. And I said it last week. I'm going to say it again. I just feel bad for Bobby Lashley. I feel like he's just getting shoved already into the shadow of. But at the same time, it's not really anyone per se's fault. It's just Braun is so over right now.
Yeah.
People love him.
It's tough because Bobby Lashley, he's one of those guys that's larger than life. Just look at him. I mean, he's got a look, and it's tough to put him into the main event scene because look who's there already. You got Braun Strowman, who's already a monster, and then you got to throw him in somewhere. Or maybe, and I'm just going from a performer standpoint, maybe he's just not ready yet for singles competition. Or maybe it's just trying to work him into the mix. I don't know what it is, but I'm going to drink to this just because I'm interested in it. It seems, I don't know where they're going with it. Maybe him and Braun Strowman are teaming up as that tag team to replace Nicholas. Who knows? Who knows?
But at the same time, it was a great match. It was exciting. It was Bobby Lashley had a lot of good spots in it, I thought, which were really exciting. But Braun, those shoulder tackles to Kevin on the outside over and over again. Every time he did one of those, I stood up. I was just like, oh my gosh! Like it was just really entertaining to watch.
You know who I really feel sorry for is Sami Zayn at the end of the match. He got obliterated.
Suplex, which he held that even longer. And he almost lost it.
I saw that.
He almost lost it. But no, and once again, that's another reason why I feel bad for Bobby Lashley because he's a very impressive competitor.
Yep.
And you know what? If you're going to put him with someone, why not put him with another monster? I mean, that would be a team. If they are a regular team now, look out tag team division because they're going to dominate.
I'm drinking to it.
Yep. All right, next. Very confusing moment for me. The Baron Corbin thing with No Way Jose. I feel bad, really bad for No Way Jose. I feel like they've already buried him. Like, he's had a match. Well, he had an intro thing. He had he squashed someone, and now he basically just got buried by Baron Corbin. Who, don't get me wrong, I enjoy Baron Corbin, but I didn't feel that he'd earned the right to bury anyone yet.
I still am confused, and I don't even want to go into it. Besides, this is just Adam Rose all over again. The Rosebuds are following him. It stinks. Yeah. I don't know where they're going with it. I can't drink to it. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm not going to drink to it either. I do enjoy Baron Corbin. I like his character. He's a dick, you know, and the fact that he refused to wrestle because he basically doesn't like No Way Jose, but then attacked from behind. He's keeping that dick persona, which is good because I think it works well for him. But this isn't doing anything for either of them.
I feel like he's a dick outside of real life.
That probably is too. Although there is some backstage footage of him. He made a kid cry in the front row.
See?
And then, but when it went to commercial, like he literally went and picked up the kid, brought him out like to the ring, and comforted him.
Didn't Triple H do that once?
He did that, but he didn't pull the kid all the way out. Baron actually took the kid in his arms, brought him up to the ring, let him see the ring, and apologized to the kid.
He's a child whisperer.
There's something creepy about that.
No, anyway, move on.
Moving on. Once again, video packages and stuff I usually don't drink to, but a moment of bliss was very funny. And I know that a lot of people might think that they're going too far with the fat shaming thing now, with the whole her making fun of Nia and being a bully and being overweight. But at the same time, I think they're doing it with enough finesse, and the fact that they're really pushing Alexa to be the heel on the women's division. Like, she is the evil one. She's awful. And I think this did it perfectly. So I like Alexa. She's very good.
I like Alexa too. I'm going to be honest, I didn't really care that much for the situation. Although I think she's going to be an awesome heel because she's like a shallow heel.
I love the shallow heels.
I know.
She's like the female Miz.
It just didn't get me excited, I guess. And if it got you excited, awesome. And I'm a huge Alexa Bliss fan too. If she's doing something in the ring, I'm watching because maybe I have a crush on her.
I think that's what it is.
Oops.
And he's afraid to give too much, so that's why he's not going to drink to this, because then he feels like he's being too obvious.
Sorry.
I'm drinking to it, Alexa.
Hey, drink to it.
All right. So all the backstage stuff with Seth and the Miz-Taraj and Finn and the Miz-Taraj finally culminates into a match, which I thought was so basically the Miz-Taraj were insulted, so they're going to wrestle them.
It's like they set this match up basically just throughout the night within the first 2 hours. They just set it up basically by having them go and try to get a date with Seth. Yeah. And a date with Finn is what happened.
And here we are. And, it wasn't a bad match. I didn't think that there was anything wrong with it per se. The work was really good. And as much as, Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel are kind of shoved under the rug, I think they're excellent workers. They just are kind of stuck in this weird limbo right now. So as much as I love everyone that was in this match, it confused me, and I'm not going to drink to it.
Yeah, and I'm not going to drink to it either, just because it was kind of like they just threw this together last minute for a match. The other thing is, I feel like Curtis Axel and Bo Dallas are on the chopping block, and it's just a matter of time before they are gone. Although Curtis Axel has been there for so long, I'm actually surprised he's lasted this long, to be honest. Same with Bo Dallas. But the fact that they're staying there I'm impressed. They're doing good work. They do. I feel like they're the two guys that just do whatever they're told and try to make the best of the situation. I feel like they've been put in a couple crap situations within their time there. They're doing a great job, but this match was just kind of like,
Yeah. Sorry,
not
guys.
Drinking.
Sorry, guys. So up next, backstage shtick with the women, because that's the main event tonight, is the 10 women tag match to be even with the 10-man tag match from last week. Yep. So then there was that animosity again with Sasha and Bayley, and I texted you the moment it happened. I said, one of these two needs to turn freaking heel and just get it over with. So that is ridiculous. The 10-woman tag itself, that I'm drinking to, because there were so many spots that I did not see coming. Yeah. Ember Moon had a very good showing. Mickie James again had a very good showing. But for me, that spot near the end, the suicide dive off the apron from Nia Jax.
I know.
Taking out everybody with the exception of Mickey, because then Mickey, went and checked on, Natalya, who was hurt, and then started beating her up more. And then who comes out? Your girl, Ronda Rousey comes out.
She is winning me over, Paul. I cannot believe I'm saying that. She is winning me over.
Came out and just smoked Mickey.
Okay, her moves are obviously she's in MMA, which we all know that. But the fact that she can somehow pull that MMA to wrestling and it might be actually real. Who knows? I don't know.
It works.
But she's taking him over so fast that you have to watch the replay to see what she actually did. And not only that, the girls who are taking these moves, they're taking actual shots. It looks like I saw last week where it looked like what was her name last week?
Sonya Deville.
She looked like she was taking some real punches there.
Yeah.
But then she took over Mickie James, and then she put her in the armbar, and Mickie James sold that very well. So congratulations. Not like it's anything new for Mickie James. I mean, she's a veteran. She sold it well. It was awesome. It was quick. She got out of the ring, Ronda did, and I'm drinking to that. She's winning me over. I cannot believe she's winning me over. I did not think it was going to happen. I thought Botchamania was happening during WrestleMania. Did not happen. I got drink to that. Holy smokes.
Cheers.
Thanks, Ronda. I needed that one.
So that was Raw. For better, for worse, it was an okay show. I wouldn't say it was. I was blown away by it. It got 7 drinks tonight, which is the lowest it's ever gotten. So, Smackdown. So once again, Smackdown gets its free 3 drinks to get started because it's an hour less. And we're going to continue to read the balance and see if that's too much or too little. They kind of smoked Raw last week, but a lot of people thought that it was that way. So I think we were still on base with that. Let's see what we come up with this week.
All right.
So the show kicked off. We just got an image package in memoriam to Bruno Sammartino. I don't think that's worth drinking or not drinking over. I once again, kudos to him. But versus the video package from the night before, it was very just simple.
Hey, when you only got 2 hours to work with, it can't be what they did on Raw.
Touche. But it kicked off. I'm already going to tell you right off the bat, I'm drinking to this. Miz TV kicked it off. He kind of ripped Daniel Bryan apart. Kind of gave the whole I'm a dad too, but I still wrestle with all my heart. I changed. I'm the softer man now, but he hasn't changed at all. And it was like, ooh, he was like really taking jabs at him.
Just finally, like that smack talk. That was awesome.
Yep. Finally calls him out, calls Daniel Bryan out, doesn't come out. But who does come out? Big Cass, in a suit, mind you. And seeing a 7-foot tall man in a suit, it's kind of impressive, not going to lie. So Big Cass comes down, and the thing that really got me the most on this was, and he was also ripping Daniel Bryan apart. At first, it seemed like The Miz and Big Cass were going to get into a spat, but then it finally turned into, okay, wait a minute, no, we're both looking and seeing on the same plane here. We both are mad at Daniel Bryan. So Big Cass gives this whole he was cleared to wrestle the same day I was, and everyone only wanted to talk about Daniel Bryan. No one wanted to talk about me. So for me, it's more of a jealousy thing. But most impressive thing for me, Cass is pretty good on a mic, and he's been very overshadowed by Enzo Amore, who was his tag team partner for many years. But Cass can hold his own on a mic. I was impressed, so I'm going to drink to this.
Yeah, I'm going to drink to this too because I'm really interested to see where the storyline goes to. I hope it goes to Miz and Daniel Bryan. I'm not sure it's going there, but I'm going to drink in the optimism that it's going to eventually turn into Miz and Daniel Bryan because I feel like there's an actual real life feud, kind of like Matt Hardy and Edge when they had the whole Lita situation.
Yep.
That was a real life thing. Although they're probably not mad in real life, I would really love to see those two go at it because I had that smack talk portion months ago. Now this, where he's calling him out, and now Miz is actually on Smackdown. I really would like to see those two guys work against each other because I think they can actually build up a realistic type feud that we used to see.
Yep. Let's drink.
Drink it.
All right, up next, they just announced that there's going to be a contract signing on SmackDown for Carmella and Charlotte for a rematch, so Charlotte can hopefully get her title back at Backlash. We'll get to that later because there is the big contract signing. But up next, then, we had Becky Lynch and Asuka were backstage and found a beaten-up Daniel Bryan on the ground. And, of course, then it goes to a commercial, so we're all wondering, what happened?
Who did this?
Or as the New Day would say, but yeah, anyway, so then it went to commercial. Comes back, the Iconics are in the ring, and being the perfect heels that they are, They're so good. They're like, oh, look at us up on the screen. We look so good. And then they started making fun of my girlfriend, Becky Lynch.
What, your girlfriend?
Ticked me off. Becky's my girlfriend.
What?
Becky's my girlfriend.
All right.
Anyway, but then it was a tag match, the Iconics versus Becky Lynch and Asuka. Kind of a strange pairing, but rumor mill.
Dirt sheet,
Sheets.
Paul.
I think this is starting to build up to the women's tag division that they might be announcing not too far down the road.
A Smackdown one?
That's my curiosity is, are they going to have Raw? I don't think there's enough to have Raw and SmackDown tag titles for the women. So I think it's going to go one side or the other. And I think SmackDown has the heavier roster to be able to support a tag division, but we'll see what happens.
Hey, maybe someday they'll have a title for the title.
There you go. There you go. But the match was pretty good, actually. And the big surprise, though, especially with the fact that Asuka was just coming off of her first loss ever, you'd figure, okay, she's got to get a W here. No. Iconics won again. And it was a roll-up. It was kind of cheap. And it was to Becky, not to Asuka. And it was great because Becky sells really well. Because when she got that roll-up pin when they slid out of the ring after they won, the look of pure, stunned on Becky's face was I legit thought that there was a mistake and she wasn't actually supposed to lose. She looked that stunned.
She sold him.
She sold it really well. I'm going to drink to it because I think the Iconics did need something to give them a push, because I think if they just lost this week, that's why it was kind of a toss-up for me, because Asuka losing again kind of stings this close to already having her first loss, but I think the Iconics needed something to give them a boost too.
And I'd agree with you on that portion, the last portion you said about the Iconics needing a win of some sort. But I'm also confused with the Asuka. Like you said, she came into WrestleMania undefeated, and now all of a sudden she gets defeated, and that's fine. But then she's on a losing team again, and so I'm confused with where they're going with her. So I can't drink to this one this week. I'm gonna let you do that on your own. It's tough for me to figure out what they're doing. Becky Lynch obviously has been in there for a little while. She's had her wins, she's had her losses, but then we had Asuka that was built up so much like that. So, man, I hope that drink was good. I really wish I could have.
It was delicious. All right, up next, Andrade Cien Almas had a video package just saying that he's coming soon. I was a little disappointed with it, so that's why I'm not going to drink to this one, because I want him there. I don't want this coming soon. I don't want this teasing anymore. I just want him there.
I'm not drinking to it either because of the fact that every time they do this, coming soon, it usually turns out to be someone that just flops or they don't do anything after the coming soon. They come soon, and then all of a sudden, boom, they're there, and then all of a sudden they're mid-card, no card.
I hope not. He's so good. I mean, he just got a 5-star match from Dave Meltzer with Johnny Wrestling.
Yeah.
He can't not. We'll see what happens.
We'll see
what happens. Up next, already saying right out of the bat, not drinking to this. It was stupid. I hated it. It was stupid the week before. It was rinse and repeat. Last week we had Harper versus Jay Uso. Now we had Rowan versus Jimmy Uso. And last week, Naomi came out to stop them from beating him up. This week, she comes out and distracts the Bludgeon Brothers so the Bludgeon Brothers lose. It was a cheap loss. It was stupid. It's not something a face should do. They should not have distraction wins. And it was just dumb. I'm sorry. When the biggest storyline in this whole thing right now is the fact that his wife has to save him. No.
All right. Hold on. I got a question. Who's the face in this?
The Usos.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought they were heel.
No, when they made nice with the New Day, after the big Hell in the Cell match, basically was their face.
I mean, I'm with you on this. I can't drink to this because I'm really confused. It's really making the Usos look weak is what it's doing. And granted, they're going up against big guys. I mean, these guys are not small. But coming down, having your wife come out and run after you, having to come and dance and distract, it's not helping out the character. Although I'm not at the storyline portion, I don't work for WWE, so I don't know. There might be something bigger and better with this. I don't know. But as far as this week, no drink. Pints down.
Pints down. Up next, we had Carmella come out and once again gloat about her title win. But then she made a very good point that has been really bothering me lately because it's been happening a lot in the WWE, and that is the champion is coming out not last. And from growing up, the champion always came out last.
Yeah, and that's the way we do it as far as I know in the independent scene. We do it where the challenger comes out first, and then the champion, no matter who's heel and who's face. Now, if it's a non-title match, usually it's the heel coming out to get the heat first on them, so then that way you know who to cheer for, which would be the second person. Championships or champions, it's a little different. It's usually the non-champion, which is the challenger, comes out first, and then the champion. Confused? I would have agreed with her.
So she made a very good point. Then she wanted her video package to be shown again because she felt she didn't get the respect the week before and didn't feel like she got it again. So then she has her roll it again, and thank God Charlotte came out and interrupted. Not that it's a bad video package, but it was getting a little like, okay. But Charlotte interrupts, come out, they have their signing, and then Charlotte Flair just lays out Carmella like a bag of garbage.
I'm so excited to see where this goes. I guess I'm a Charlotte fan is what it is because her work is so good.
Yep.
Now she's probably going to help out Carmella. Not that Carmella's a bad worker by any means, but I mean, look who, Charlotte has her background is her dad is Ric Flair. Obviously, you got a lot of help on your backside there, which then is going to turn around and help out Carmella. I'm interested to see where this goes because it seems like Charlotte always has a good match, no matter who it's with or what happens. I'm going to drink to it.
I'm drinking too.
Perfect.
Up next, kind of a confusing bit for me. I'm still up in the air on whether I'm going to drink to this or not. So Shelton Benjamin comes out and wants a rematch with Jeff Hardy from the week before. So Jeff Hardy comes out, which is always a good thing.
Yeah.
But then in an exact flip of what happened last week, so it's almost a rinse and repeat again.
Almost.
Now, Jeff gets interrupted, and Randy Orton comes out. Well, like last week, Randy Orton got interrupted by Jeff Hardy. So, the pose. So I was very confused on what this whole, them trying to, one-up each other is going on and where that's going to go. Especially since the dirt sheets again are saying that Randy Orton's actually going to be taking some time off. So I'm wondering why they're trying to give him a push. But either which way, Shelton Benjamin versus Randy Orton, mechanically, very sound match. Very good. Jeff Hardy was ringside. Mysterious Man comes out, jumps Jeff Hardy. Turns out to be Sunil Singh.
Who dis?
It was Sunil Singh, and and the thing was we all knew it. Even though he's wearing a mask, he had the black button-down shirt, the black slacks, just like he always does.
Who that is.
So, trying to get a one-up on Jeff Hardy coming up to the rematch at the Greatest Royal Rumble with Jinder Mahal. Gets an RKO from Randy Orton, but then that threw Randy Orton for a loop, and lo and behold, Shelton Benjamin gets his finisher in, gets the W over Randy Orton, which I think is a big win for Shelton. A lot of confusion in this, but for the sheer star power and the sheer impressiveness of the match itself, I will drink to this.
And I'm going to drink to this because of the storyline. And I guess I'm just a storyline whore is what it is. I like the story, all right? And matches are great, but you got to tell a story. It is what it is. But there's three big names here: Shelton Benjamin, Jeff Hardy, and then Randy Orton. And I hope Randy Orton's not going away. I hope that dirt sheet is wrong. I agree. I think they really got something here with these three guys. I don't know what the point is, but I'm interested to see where they're going at this. So I'm going to drink to this because of the storyline, and I'm a storyline whore, I guess.
Boom. All right, up next, we just had a couple of really quick backstage segments. Apparently, there's now the Book of Booty.
Book of Booty.
Book of Booty from the Put It Down. from the New Day, and then the Bar came in and said that they're not going to be around much longer because they're going to get their titles back, and no one in SmackDown's tag division is worth their time. Ooh,
we heard that before.
All right, and then there was the segment that was kind of fun between AJ and the Club. They're too sweeting because they get to team up tonight, and that's the main event is the Club and AJ versus Shinsuke and Rusev Day, which looking forward to that as a match. But not worth drinking over. Then Samoa Joe had a little video, and that guy is fire on a mic no matter what. But it was very short, just once again reiterating the fact that he's going to win the IC title and then crush Roman Reigns. Once again, I don't think it was anything worth drinking over. But then it would all of a sudden I was like, oh my gosh, it's the main event already. SmackDown went by really fast this week.
Well, it's 2 hours.
Well, I understand that, but I literally felt like it was a half an hour this week. So a lot of fun stuff happening, but a lot of stupid stuff happening too.
Yeah.
So I just didn't feel like I could drink to any of those segments. They were too short. It was nothing that much of substance.
Cool segments, so
They were good. Cool. They were cool. Maybe as a whole, did they all three get Nah, nope, not doing it.
We're
Not
going
doing
with the main event.
Main event, though, very good storytelling. So once again, AJ and the club reuniting the Bullet Club, which we can't talk about in the WWE.
Hey, you know what? This is what I can appreciate, though. They're not trying to shun away what everybody knows.
We
all know that they had New Japan Wrestling, they had the Bullet Club.
Yep.
I'm kind of glad that they're embracing this because
true,
everybody knows this. So why try to make it something that they act like it never happened? It happened, so let it happen.
Very true.
All right, they're doing that.
Yep, and then so against Shinsuke and Rusev and Aiden English. Great match, great storytelling throughout. Actually, some of the best moments for me were Aiden English in the ring. That guy, when he's in the ring, like he had one of the club in a headlock and he was like singing to him and to the crowd while he did it. Like I was laughing. I was literally laughing out loud. That guy does not get what he. Well, actually, you know what? Now that he's with Rusev, I think he's getting what he deserves because he's really good.
And I really like when they had their tag team before NXT. I really appreciate it. They got
the Vaudevillains.
Oh, it's such an old school look. It's kind of funny. It's got a great
nod to Blue Pants, by the way. Thank you.
I mean, charisma-wise is awesome.
Yep.
Character-wise, awesome. Just let them be free. Let him do his thing. You're going to sing in the ring. Hey, the people are there to watch a good show. It is sports entertainment. Let it be entertainment, and they did that.
No, absolutely. The match was actually really good, really well worked. Ended up with Shinsuke actually getting... So Shinsuke pinned Gallows. But then the real story started right then after then as well, because then AJ was beating the crap out of Shinsuke because he was mad. And then Shinsuke gets his low blow in, and he was about to give a Kinshasa to AJ, but then Anderson comes in and takes it instead. But then Shinsuke picks him up, makes AJ watch him Kinshasa him again. I mean, it was one of those like, oh my gosh moments. And then, Shinsuke went off and looked just like this evil, like, He looked like one of those like villains standing on a building looking down on the city menacingly afterwards,
Yes.
like watching his destruction. And it was so cool. Like the whole bit was really well done. I'm totally drinking to this.
Oh,
Very well done.
absolutely. We got to drink to this because not only is there history here, we got AJ, we got Anderson, we got Gallows, which is the Bullet Club, as everybody knows, and they're not going away from that. But then you add in Shinsuke, which then is showing the storyline. Again, storyline whore. That's me. They're showing, they're progressing what this is going to be eventually, but you can't have Shinsuke pin AJ because then it would say, oh, Shinsuke is better than AJ, and they can't do that because that's too big of a match to give away on Smackdown, which is just a lowly 2 hours. So I'm drinking.
All right. Quick nod, by the way, to 205 Live this week as well. The Gauntlet match, very good. Usually only watch like the first 20 minutes, and then I'm like, okay, that's enough. I actually got sucked in the whole time. This time I watched the entire show this time. I was very impressed.
You hooked
205
in,
Live,
Paul.
Keep up the good work. So that was Raw, and that was SmackDown this week, and they both ended up with 7.5 drinks. 7.5 pints up to both today. So they were dead even. And you know what? I actually feel that was about true. They were both a little weak this week, but they had to be. They were go-home shows to a pay-per-view that was kind of out of nowhere.
Yeah.
So it is what it is, and they couldn't do a lot of story building in either of these shows.
Yeah, and I would feel that both the shows, they actually matched each other predictability-wise, kind of. If I had to go off of what was more exciting, probably SmackDown a little bit, except for the Ronda portion on Raw, because I'm obviously becoming a fan. But, with 2 hours, not much you can do.
But as far as SmackDown and Raw, even Stevens this week, pints up to both of them for doing their best with very little to work with.
Hey, you know what? We're going to drink to both of those to finish these pints off.
So we'll be back again next week right here with WrestleLogic for another Pints Up or Down for Raw and SmackDown. Make sure you like the video. Make sure you share the video. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube page and spread the word to make people more logical about their wrestling with WrestleLogic.